Hello everyone, Scott Sylvan Bell coming live from Sacramento, California, April 5th, 2016, 4:10 in the afternoon. Perfect day to talk about sales training. And I wanted to share something with you that I learned pretty early on in my sales career, but I've noticed that a lot of salespeople struggle with. So I want to take you through what an objection tree is, okay? Now, there's a really good reason why you should keep a journal after your sales call, because it'll help you remember the things that you've talked about and the things that happen. Now, when you're dealing with objections, you got to know that your first objection really typically isn't the one that's going on in the head of the buyer. It could be, but for the most part, it's not, okay? So here's the normal process that salespeople go through. This is a salesperson, right? They get an objection, and their go-to answer is a discount. So someone says, I want to think about it. It's like, discount, right? And discount mode. And that's not how the objection process is supposed to go down. So this is a good reason for you to take notes. I got a picture here of a salesperson. And then I learned early on in my career that there was this objection tree, right? So that this is what normally happened. The person would say, I want to think about it. Cool, I would overcome that objection. Next, they would say, now I got to talk to somebody else. Okay, I'd overcome that. The next, I want to wait, which is my version of saying I want to wait till Christmas, okay? And then I get over that. And then I'd say, then they would say, I want to get other bids, okay? And then ultimately it'd come down to like some sort of negotiation or discount process. But here's the thing. All too often, salespeople go with one objection and then a discount. You have to know that dealing with an objection is kind of like a maze for the buyer, but they've never been through it, and you have, right? So if they got dropped off somewhere and they had to run through a maze, they're not expecting you to hear the same thing over and over and over and over again, but there's pretty much a pattern to everything. So I knew that if the person said, I want to think about it, right, and I was able to overcome it, then I would have another objection right after that, pretty much consistently the same one over and over and over and over again. Now, typically, objections happens in batches of threes, and this is where sales processes usually break down, and this is where people don't role play the right way to figure out what they're going to say and what they're going to need to do. So here's my challenge for you. There's really 4 objections. There's, your price is too high, I want to think about it, I want to get other bids, and no. Right? It's just not a good fit. So why wouldn't you come up with the 16 of those, like, you multiply them out and just rotate them around and figure out what the most common objection patterns are going to be. Now, if you work this too much, there's no such thing as overcoming too much objections. Being able to overcome objections leads to being able to pretty much sell anything. Okay, as long as it's the right for the buyer and it's the right thing for them and it's really going to fit and it's really going to help them, cool, there you go. But why would you, most salespeople don't practice objections anyway, okay? That's the first problem. The second problem is when they don't do it the right way. There should be a multiple attempt and multiple steps, right? And know that sometimes I want to think about it. The next one is, I want to think about it. And the one after that is going to be, now I got to think about it, right? And it's really that you got to get them off a step. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times buyers are scared to tell you what the real reason is, because they're afraid that if they tell you the real reason that you're going to be able to overcome their objection. That's usually why the first one is usually not the real one. The first one is just a test to see if you're going to give up, right? The first objection is like, oh, I want to think about it, right? They're waiting to see if you're going to go, okay, discount, or okay, I'm going to pack up my stuff and leave. If you believe in your product, right, and you're like, I believe in my product, I believe in my product, right? If I believe in my product and what I'm doing, the first I want to think about it isn't going to faze me. It's going to be like, whoa, time out. This is going to fix all the pain and all the problems that you have. What do you mean you're going to think about it, right? Tell me why. Why are you going to think about it? Give me some ideas, right? And then it's going to come to the next one. They're going to be like, oh, I don't know what to say. If I give this guy another objection, he's just going to go away, right? So then they go, I got to talk to somebody. So next thing they go, I got to go talk to somebody. Oh, you overcome that one. Boom. Now, I got to wait. I got to think about it. I got to wait till Christmas. Boom. Next one. Oh, I got to talk to the people. I got to get other bids. Right? And you got to know that at some point they're really going to go, all right, here's the thing. Here's what's going on. And this is really normal when you get to the point when somebody goes, all right, this sales guy's just not going to give up. I could see that he's got the questions down and he knows what to ask me. He's going to ask me why. He's going to give me some criteria. He's going to understand what's going on. But chances are good, if you're a salesperson, you are not prepared to go through a rejection tree. Most salespeople can't go through all this. They can go too deep, right? Your goal is to be able to go 6. 6 deep can get you through just about any sales process on the planet. And just know that a lot of this comes from confidence. A lot of this is just like dealing with objections is like flirting, right? And I've said that before in my videos, but that's really what it comes down to. You dealing with objections is kind of like flirting. So if you look at it like the dating process and the flirting back and forth, it makes things a whole lot more interesting. It's not like it's just like, aha, I just had an idea. If this is like flirting, it should be fun. But a lot of times salespeople get way too serious and they're and it's like me being way too serious. It just does not work out for you. So your job, figure out your objection tree. Usually there's 3 objections, why not practice 4, okay? And if you're gonna practice 4, go ahead and go through all 6 of them. But just start with something. Start with 3, and then know that, okay, well, I've got my 3 down, then I'm gonna go to 4, and then I'm gonna go to 5, then I'm gonna go to 6. And just know that it's not that big of a deal. The more like credit you give to somebody for their objection, the more power it has, the more it's real to them. The more that you're just like, all right, whatever, no big deal, and you overcome the objection, the more that it goes away, okay? There you go. There's your objection tree. Now, if you could do a small favor for me, in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or a story, that would be fantastic. To the right or to the left, there's a subscribe button. You know what you gotta do? You've gotta subscribe. And then you can send it off to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, if that's where all the buttons are, right? Google, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Scott Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.